And welcome to another session of our three S4HANA webinar. Today's webinar will, like we all know, the topic is on leveraging SAP S4HANA Cloud for industry specific. So for this webinar, we are looking at the airline industries, we are looking at the professional industries and also the manufacturing industries for this webinar. Okay, and before I go on, I have some of my colleagues here with me, and like we all know, we are SAP partners, and in our midst we have accountants, chartered. Also have we also have SAP consultants, we have IT people. So we are going to be talking to you because we have the experts knowledge of what we are talking about. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to invite the CTO and the CEO, Mr. Gideon Makiwa, and he's going to start with the presentation of today. So, Mr. Gideon.
All right, Shane, thank you for that introduction. We're happy to have the session, which the S4HANA Public Cloud session. Like we all know, SAP has recently, started the cloud movement of the legacy on-premise ECC and S4HANA on-premise solution. So the public cloud solution, S4HANA cloud solution, is modern, enabled with all AI capabilities, connectivity to the business network. So for our topic today, we are focusing on airlines and also professional service companies and manufacturing. Now, our target in this session is to show you how S4HANA Cloud can support your operations for these industries I mentioned. So looking at the and professional service. So when we talk about professional service, we're talking about companies that are involved in either engineering professionals or any project-driven kind of services that require them, to do billing, and also equipment, right? Management on customer sites or, to deliver these services. So first, I'm going to start with solution overview of what S4HANA Cloud is. Now, S4HANA has two types of version. We have the public edition, we have the private edition. For SAP, the public edition is a flagship edition because that's targeted at a mid-size and large enterprise with a lot of innovative solutions. Now, for the private cloud, that has to do with companies who have need for right and all that. So we'll focus today on public edition. So like every other ERP company, SAP is providing one of the leading cloud solutions for mid-size and large enterprise solution companies. So here we're looking at unlike other ERP solution, SAP is very strong on vertical industry focus. Other ERP have more focus on horizontal, which is more generic business processes. Of SAP, one of the best when it comes to vertical industry solution, like we are discussing the airline. How will SAP support airline industries? Let's talk about the airline. One of the requirements of the airline industry um, to maintain their aircraft. So the airline companies that have different flight schedules, and at the same time they are required to do maintenance of the aircraft. This is very huge because there are lots of requirements in terms of legal requirements, and also the aviation authority. Then here we're also talking about the parts. There are lots of inventory management and aspects. So SAP can support airline industry, and of the airline industry currently use a separate solution for aircraft maintenance management. And most of these solutions don't see finance, right? But today we are going to show you how SAP S/4HANA Cloud is able to combine the maintenance process together with finance, right? Because for the airline industry, the expense and cost of maintenance is a huge contribution, right, to the profit of the company. So we provide this sync between finance and the aircraft maintenance, and all that. We're going to show you different types of maintenance schedules. Then when you talk about like oil and gas, for instance, companies who have a lot of equipment on site, the oil rig, they also need to do maintenance of this equipment and all that. So, but we combine all this in one solution. So the S/4HANA is modern. We support mobile and web. Also, we have vision with a lot of collaborative to Microsoft Teams, like Google Workspace, and so on. It follows industry best practice deployment strategy. So it makes it easier to implement, right? So this project can be delivered within a product time of 3 to 4 if we are following the best practice in SAP. So we have the accelerated project management tool, like you can see here, and all that. So if you look at we focus on industry. SAP has deep focus industry. They have built-in localization for countries, right? Currently, more than 48 local versions. Yeah, this is very important for most companies who have multiple um, presence in different countries. So the issue of compliance and taxation, payment system, reporting, that are specific to countries. Then also 32 language, yeah. So we have the SAP Activate project methodology that enables quick deployment. One of the days where you have to do project for months or years, right? The standard implementation helps, accelerate this best. Then what are the business areas that are covered here? Here we are looking at finance, procurement, sales, services, service-centric trees. We have manufacturing, research, assets management. Now, for today, our focus is on the area of finance, procurement, and assets management. We're going to apply in and all, basically, like, because we are focusing on the maintenance, requirements of airlines and services, right? So we're talking more on that. So we support different processes, the other cash processes. For the manufacturing companies, we have very tight integration manufacturing you have product configuration do various, bill of material and bill of engineering, right, for product configuration. We also support product variants. Yeah, so these are all the processes that are supported from procure to pick to cash, records to reporting. Now, SAP provides the most advanced, tools for managing each and every one of these processes. Like, for instance, we have a procurement system that enables our customers to do things like central procurement, much more complex environments. We also have integration with SAP, which is by proprietary already SAP solution. For financing, we provide managed accounting, the record, performance financial management accounting, which is a very important topic for most organizations. Then we'll talk about the budgeting and forecasting. This covered from very basic to very advanced, topics, in each of these area of specialization. So some of the industries, service industry we focus on as slide is professional services, which is our focus. We also provide solution for public sector, banking, insurance, travel, and transportation. Some of the other industry we support: wholesale distribution, automotive, high tech, mining, mill and retail. We'll talk about the aerospace and defense, which is also a very one of the key area of focus. We have oil and gas, we have the chemicals, we have utilities, right? Industries. So talking about insight, right? This solution is not just providing transaction records. We have built-in analytics, so you're combining both transaction and analytics. Also comes with AI learning, right? We also have, very strong, models, for process automation, right? Businesses today, because of volume of transaction, to do a lot of process automation, right? Which SAP provide, right? Whether the machine learning, the AI, capabilities, they're here. With also things like RP, robotic process automation, right? Which help companies to process large volumes, right? We also have things like situation handling. In a company where they have large number of users, and one of the challenges is how do we bring everybody together to be connected in a single machine and assign specific tasks and set a deadline, for performing that task. Also, you want to also have like receive notification when those tasks are done, or when there's those tasks you miss the deadline, right? So we have situation handling, which is in complex organizations, right? Because most cases things are left undone, right? Because there is no proper monitoring process. So with the SAP S/4HANA Cloud, right, there's heavy focus on this area of, the business, with the exception-based notification, right, that helps you to track, important information in the system. So I'm going to show you more. Now, for organizations, right, as you grow and your operations become larger, right, there's always this challenge of managing complexity in terms of structure. Let's say a company, like you can see on my slide here on my right, a company that has multiple location, right? You are present in different regions, in different states, or also you have different products, right? For instance, since we're talking about the airline industry, so the airline industry that, they have different flights routes, like here in Nigeria, you have flights from Lagos to Abuja, you have flights Lagos to, London, for instance. You also want to manage your reporting, uh, financial reporting along this kind of structure. You want to be able to see, for instance, how much profit do you make from Lagos to Abuja route or Port Harcourt to Lagos route. You can have this, your organizational hierarchies presented in the system, and that forms the basis for reporting your financials, right? Because here, because of the large size of the organization, to see that minute detail, right, in performance. For instance, in this organizational chart here, you have firm-wide, they have North America, Northeast, Southeast America, Midwest, and all that. So you can have this hierarchical kind of reporting, right? Which is very, very important. Yeah. So we also have, we support multiple deployment. So you have head office and subsidiary. You need to maintain accounts between these entities, right? And at the end of the day, you want to be able to do a kind of group consolidation. So we support the tier one kind of deployments of the solution. So that's why we say the S/4HANA Cloud is targeting companies who have different business concerns, usually multinationals or local companies who have investments in other business areas, right? So you have the acquisition company, you have subsidiaries, you have other entities that are in incubation, you have autonomous divisions, divestitures and all that. You want to be able to put all these different entities together in a single solution so that consolidation becomes very easy to do, right? So these kind of things, kind of complexity, the S/4HANA solution is designed to solve, right? Very, very useful, when we talk about very big operations, and all that. So, like you see, we enable companies to manage this kind of complexity and also be able to have this different scenario where you can have a central procurement, central service, or a global shared, or you have a manufacturing site that feeds all that subsidiary. So this is where S/4HANA is a game changer, right? You have this kind of complexity. You want a single solution that is able to connect all your business entities, in one single solution, right? And this is what large organizations need, right? Not a situation where you have solution. So we talk about our figures, results S/4HANA is able to achieve. This is based on very research, usually partnered by SAP and other experts. So in terms of assets management, we have 50% reduction in lead time, more accurate assessment of assets capacity and all that. A 4% reduction in time required to release invoice, freeing up employee for core businesses. 7 times increase in order processing capacity. $2 million saved by reducing duplicate purchase order. This is huge for a company. We talk about the R&D improvement, improved process for product design and development. Now, SAP, of course, is one of the best solutions you can have for manufacturing. So we have records of 100% traceability traceable production from raw materials to finish. 97% of delivery made on time, through the SAP supply chain management. All right, I'll stop here so that my colleague will continue. But I'll also log into the system to show you how the solution looks like. Then my colleague will take over from there. All right, let me share my screen. Yeah. Now, like you all know, with S/4HANA, right? This is the welcome page of the solution. 1 minute. Okay, so it's a full cloud solution. Like we can all see once you log in, depending on your role in the organization, you see apps that are relevant for your role, right? You can have your to-do list, you have the news, you have pages, regular pages. Here you can have some insights depending on what your role is. So you can see built-in analytics, the solution, right? And for instance, I can go and see my account payables overview, right? Here, you can have manage supplier information. And here, for somebody in procurement, this is very, very useful because you're able to see all your supplier line, right? You can click on this to see other information here, right? For the journal entry, you can also click on this and maybe display journal entry. So this, you can navigate. So we have this way of navigating the solution. I can click on the document flow, right, to see, the process flow, right? So here I can see different way to view this, or I can go to GL view and all that, right? So some of this capability, unlike the ECC where you need a lot of code to navigate, right? The S/4HANA has been much simplified with new user experience, which is based on Fiori, more just click and navigate, right? And all that. So also here you have other things. You can do your settings here, right? Manage your settings. You can change the appearance of your system. You can set your language and regions and other notifications, right? And all that. So I'm going to stop here and hand over to my next colleague to take over. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll be sharing my screen now. Yeah, thank you so much. I'll be talking about cross functions in our S/4HANA cloud software. So this is one of the most important features for any organization that wants to pay attention to system process, responsibility sharing, where a manager approves a particular task or approves a particular transaction. So this is where you can manage your hierarchy and make approvals for transaction at a particular level. Or so we have one of the cross-function features we have in our S/4HANA Cloud is flexible workflow, where you have approval levels. You can have more than one or approval levels, maybe a senior manager and an executive approving a particular transaction, either in procurement, finance, or what have you. So situation handling, this is a proactive business process exception management where it alerts you or escalate a particular process, maybe discounts to a particular customer or a contract that is ready for you. So I'm going to show you this very shortly. So these are built around S/4HANA that helps you avoid mistakes and gives you escalations where necessary. Then we have the responsibility management. This has to do with sharing responsibility, creating teams for particular tasks and making sure this particular task is assigned to them. Okay, so starting with the responsibility management. So S/4HANA has this tool where you can create team and assign tasks to them. Okay, where you want people that will be in charge of payables for a particular supplier. You want people that will be in charge of procurement for a particular goods. You can create all of this in S/4HANA Cloud. Okay, so agility through flexible adaptation of responsibility and hierarchies, allowing to align them with business processes, centralized monitoring of responsibility to directly react to organizational changes without disrupting processes, reduce implementation efforts, and more flexible with intuitive users, allowing key users to do edits. So here you can create groups, okay? You can create groups here and assign tasks to them. I'm going to show you shortly in the system. Then we have flexible workflow. Okay, so the flexible modeling allows definition of workflow steps, starting condition and recipients by business departments. So this helps to reduce implementation efforts with pre-built workflow templates for a wide range of processes. Okay, so we have resilience workflow through built-in exception handling capabilities and deadline management. So this helps with approval. Okay, you have 2-level authentication or 3-level approval level where the first manager approves, the second manager approves. So it's so flexible, you can adapt to whatever situation or whatever process your organization is running. So this helps to you can start with the starting conditions, the steps and recipient of pre-built workflow, receive workflow notification. You have where you can have your notifications and review requests in the inbox of your business role. So we have both the mobile and we have the web. So you can have this on your. We have a mobile version of it where you can have some of these approval processes on your mobile. And so it sends, notifications are sent to your inbox, okay, to notify you of any pending tasks you need to approve. So you can decide about approving, rejecting, claiming, forwarding, or suspending a request. I'm going to show you that shortly. Talking about situation handling, this makes you more proactive, okay? You get instant notification and independently from current working context and system, decide on urgency and prioritization of issues based on notification summary. Okay, so this reduces effort. So I'm going to show you now how this works. So this is situation handling. Let me know if you can see my screen. This is in S/4HANA, these are situations we have handling templates we have in S/4HANA. So we have approaching cancellation dates. So this is one of the dues we have in S/4HANA, right? So it helps you, it notifies you when there's an approaching cancellation date. We have cancellation date exceeded. So it gives you, these are situations that helps your businesses and your businesses depends on them, okay? So you can use, we have these templates, they are endless. We have budget threshold exceeded. We have payment rejected. So when payment is rejected, it gives you a notification. These are templates that your system, these are situations that your business relies on. So it notifies you. That's why we call it situation handling. We have balance threshold alert for bank accounts, change of score. We have GRI clearing process was changed. You get, we have bank message still in status receive. We have, they are endless here. So we cover any situation you can think about around businesses, running your businesses, either as an airline or professional service or manufacturing. We have this particular one I love so much. Contract is ready as source of supply. pending supplier confirmation. Maybe there's a confirmation you are yet to make and you've not made it. It's going to notify you that there's a confirmation. Supplier quotation created, it gives you that particular notification. So these are endless situation handling we need for the day-to-day running of our businesses. And S4HANA is here to support you around that. Then we have managed teams and responsibility. All right, so this helps you to create teams and assign responsibility to them. Okay, I'm just going to show you a bit of it here. You can name it, let's say airline or professional service. You can display, you can enable it. Here you can, what is the team? What would the team be responsible for? So we have different responsibility here. Category, is it for FI general journal entry verification, for GR reconciliation, handling, confirmation, whatever the team will be responsible, you can assign it here. Is it maintenance team? Is it output control? Is it process outbound delivery? Is it billing, sales, operational purchasing? Is it project? So let me go for operational purchasing. So here you can define the company code. You can define a particular material this particular team will be responsible for. You can define the plans that will be responsible. Okay, so it's not a universal stuff. You can make it more specific, either by plans, either by material group, either by purchasing group or purchasing organization, or you want a particular team to be responsible for a particular supplier, you can assign it here. Okay. So talking about team owner, you can see I'm the team owner here. I can go ahead to create team members. Okay, these are my team. I can select any of the teams here at will. I can create a team here. All right, it's going to come up now. So these are the teams, right? So once you assign a category, you can create a team around them. So what are the functions? You can assign a particular function. So I have like 4 team members here. I can assign function either as operational purchasing or workflow administrator. Okay, so let me go for these. I can assign these functions to them. Okay, so these, as you can see, these are functions. So this is, you can go on and on. You can create a sub team if you want, and you can create a super team. This is how it works, where you can create a team and assign tags. What are the tags? These are the category. Here I'm assigning whatever thing that concerns operational purchasing. This particular team will be responsible for it. I'm going to show you one last thing. So workflow, talks about approval levels. Okay, you have you want to make a particular purchase, and if it's above $500, you need an approval level. So all of these, you can customize it in the workflow. So as you can see on my screen, we have manage workflow for purchase order, we have for supplier invoice, we have for purchase contract, we have for purchase scheduling, we have service entry, we have central contracts, we have central manage, it's on and on, but I'll be focusing today on manage workflows for purchase requisition. All right, so it's loading. So this is when you want to create a workflow for purchase requisition for requisition item. So let me go ahead to create. All right, so you can name the workflow whatever you want. You can describe it as whatever description you want to assign. You can define validity dates. Do you want this particular workflow to be valid for a week, for a year, for 5 years, for months? You can define it here. So you don't have to worry about, maybe you have a particular project for a week and you just want to create this workflow for 1 week. You can actually create the valid. So after that particular validity period, it will expire. So what is the start condition? We call it trigger. What would trigger this particular workflow? Is it attached to a particular account assignment category? Is it when you want to? So you can assign what's the triggers, what plant are you going to go? So you can even create alternative preconditions. These preconditions are the one that would trigger this particular workflow. You can see net amount is less than, or net amount is equal to. Maybe you want, if a particular purchase requisition is greater than a particular amount, you can create it here. Okay, let's say $500. Okay, you can create the currency euros. Okay, so once a particular purchase requisition is greater than this, it will trigger this particular workflow. for approval. So what are the steps? What are the steps? You can create your steps here. Is it an optional steps? Do you want it to be an automatic? Do you want it to be reworkable or to be released? You can create all of that here. So what are the recipients? You can create a particular recipient either by user or by role. So let me go by users. Once you click, it will give you the privilege, okay, the leverage to choose a particular user. I can say, okay, it's Kende, I can say it's David, I can say it's Ido, I can say it's Kene. So whoever I choose for this particular workflow will be responsible for its approval. You can talk about the start condition. Is it based on account assignments, net amount? You saw this earlier. So let me just go for accounts, maybe a particular cost center or profit center. You can create constraint, okay? So there's a deadline where after a particular hours, it will escalate, okay, maybe overdue and what have you. You can go on and on and on to create this particular stuff. Lastly, before I go, I want to show you a particular, this is the notification. Let me show you the notification dashboard and how it looks like. I'll show you some examples of notifications I have. All right, so these are tags. This is a pending tags. If you click on it, release entry, these are one of the notification. It will tell you either to release or to reject. So this is how it looks like. This is a particular entry sheet for professional services. So this is a notification. So I'll have the privilege of releasing it or rejecting it, forwarding it or suspending it for a period of time. Forwarding it to a particular team member. Maybe I'm not available, I'm on leave. I can forward it. I can claim it. Maybe a particular team member is not on seat. I can claim it and approve. I can suspend it for a week or days. I can reject. Then lastly, let me show you how the situation looks like. This is confirmation is overdue for purchase requisition item. We have contract is ready as a source. So this is amazing, isn't it? This is amazing. So these are all situation handlings I have. So it keep notifying you like, okay, this is an overdue. So let me click on confirmation is overdue for purchase requisition item. Let me show you how the interface looks like. All right, it's loading. Okay, so this is how it looks like for situation handling. It's loading. So this is it. So it's just showing you, so you can decide to close the situation here. It will give you general information on the situation, the item. If there's an attachment, it's going to show you if there's an attachment. I'm going to hand over to my colleague to continue the section. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, David, for that wonderful presentation. So the reason we can see how S4HANA helps you not just to do your daily routine, but to help you get more organized as a company, right? Because like we said, the idea is to help companies to collaborate, right? Staff to collaborate, and also, get quick reactions to situation. So it's not just helping you to just post your account or generate invoice, but basically you can automate those critical tasks and deadlines, right? And the system is able to help you with those important notification. All right, thank you so much, David. So Kene will come up with the maintenance model, the different types of maintenance that S4HANA supports. All right.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this demo session. I'll be working on the plant maintenance and the asset maintenance module. So let me quickly share my screen so I can walk us through what we'll be looking at. Okay, so yes. My screen is up now. So first off, the asset maintenance is popularly, or the S4HANA actually denotes it as the asset management acquired to the commission process. If we can remember where we were talking about the order to cash, the order to sales, and all those other processes. So the asset maintenance is actually categorized by the acquired to the commission. And if we see closely, we see that the acquired so we actually see the acquired. We can see where we segment our assets based on risk and criticality to focus on what matters the most. We also see where we can analyze potential failures and their impact for your assets to develop the right maintenance and service strategies. We also see where we can manage developed maintenance and service recommendations. For the asset health, we can set up a asset connectivity to receive data for health monitoring and demand generation. We can set up rules to automate creation of maintenance demands. We can also maintain service demands by transferring generated alerts into notifications or work orders. So what this part is actually making us understand is the same way there is a process for purchasing, from your purchase request to get your purchase order to your invoice and all that. On the plant maintenance too, we also have where we generate alerts. We generate notifications for the asset maintenance or for the equipment or for the functional location we want to work on. And these alerts can actually be converted into work orders, into purchase requests, to invoices, and the process continues all the way down. So some of the maintenance processes that are supported in the S4HANA Cloud asset management system is we have the proactive maintenance. We have the reactive maintenance rather. So this maintenance process actually reduces our asset downtime and also increases our production, thereby saving costs and saving us maintenance costs. It's mainly used when assets break down. So it's more like we are reacting to the breakdown of a particular asset. We continue using the asset until it breaks down, then we work on it. We don't have to keep working on the asset every day before it breaks down. We just wait when it breaks down, we work on it and we get back to work immediately. So we have the proactive, which is used for so we have the proactive maintenance where which supports the proactive maintenance again. Just give me a minute. Let me share my screen. So we have the proactive maintenance, which supports both task lists and also other work steps. It also ensures optimal asset performance and also ensures high availability of our assets. So we move to the improvement maintenance, which allows us to create and plan for improvements and also assign work packages to improve the asset performance. Then we have the operational and overhead maintenance, which allows us to record activities that are not part of the regular maintenance processes. This could include processes such as trainings, developments, and also recording generally activities that are not part of the maintenance process. So we have the standardized phase model, right? And this model allows us leverage on phases. So for example, now we have a process or a maintenance that we need to complete in phases. Something like the proactive maintenance could be done in that aspect. So maybe phase one is the checks, phase two is changing oil, phase three is changing the boat. So you could have that sort of process streamlined for you on the system. So there is also the continuous optimization of the maintenance program. We also have where we can create maintenance requests, which is structured to calculate risk and impact ratios, and also screen and prioritize maintenance requests and circle back in case of missing information. So it's also important for us to note that the process is seamless and it requires little to no approval process, depending on how your system is or how your company is organized hierarchically, because you could have someone like, when I show us the system, we see that there are different roles where we could have the maintenance supervisor, the maintenance inspector checking different things on the system. So let's quickly go through to the reactive maintenance so we could see what the process entails. So on the reactive maintenance, we have where we initiate the maintenance request. So here we create the maintenance notification, which is later converted to a notification order. And after it is screened, these orders can now be approved. And when they are now approved, they can now move to the next process where we prepare the maintenance. Then we schedule for the maintenance and we can execute the maintenance. So some key work centers we'll be using include the create maintenance request. We also see the my maintenance request, where we can view all our maintenance requests. We can see where we can find our maintenance orders. We also see where we can have a maintenance backlog overview. We can manage our maintenance backlogs, and we can manage our notifications and orders, process them as well, assign the orders and process the maintenance orders, and also resource scheduling and execution of the orders. So I'll quickly go through the system to show us some of these functionalities. So give me a minute to share the screen. Can we see my screen? All right, so let's go through the home screen of what the system looks like. So here we see we have different, it makes it easier for us to use the app. We can customize it to what we want to see. So first off, our main aim here is, or our main work here is on the maintenance planning. So if we can remember when I was mentioning some of the work centers that we are going to be using, We have the create maintenance. We manage our maintenance here. We can find our orders here. Can create maintenance orders directly if we want to skip the notification and the whole notification process. We can just go directly and create our orders. We have where we can create task lists. We can schedule maintenance plans and all of that. So also in the maintenance execution, we still have where we can view our maintenance requests. Then the maintenance supervisor is where most have been done approved, can actually go through and check the maintenance notification. So let's quickly create a maintenance notification so we can see what the system actually looks like and how seamless and interesting it is to use it. So once we select the create maintenance request, we can actually see here that we have sections where we can add those important aspects that we want to work can be a technical object on. So we see it's actually separated as information regarding technical we want to work on. We can also see the general gives us a breakdown of or an in-depth understanding of what the problem that we are trying to solve is. Then we see the responsibilities. If we remember where my colleague David was talking about the responsibility management. So this is where all those setups that have been done there can now be effected. So let's quickly have a technical object. We can use this. Let's use this circulation pump. You can enter a location because select failure mode. So this location is important for us to know that these locations will be calibrated to where your systems or your equipments actually are. So we select this. So we see failure mode. So here we see a lot of different reasons why a machine can break down, right? So we see we have the erratic load drop, noise, overheating, insufficient power, unknown vibration. So let's just use overheating. This is for demo purposes. So detection method. So how did you out when you are doing your periodic maintenance, when you are carrying out an inspection? So what is the effect? So from the effect, we can see we have is either a production breakdown. So it depends. We could set production restricted, when did the malfunction start, and all those information. So what for here is it a minor one into work? So if production, so obviously it has to be a very a work that is an emergency. So use this, we can enter a description during inspection. We saw the machine broke down. Okay. Or machine breakdown inspection. Okay, so we have the work centers, we have other type is already a reactive maintenance because we are reacting to a problem. So here, this long text, you can give a detailed description, describe the problem. So we saw machine breakdown here. When did the problem start? 10 a.m. today. November 2024. What did you do after we held restricted production? So we can select a priority. right? So is it high, very high, medium? So let's use medium. Then created by, reported by, you could actually use someone else, but for the fact that I'm using my account, I would like to use my name and myself. So in case there is an attachment, probably an image of the breakdown, you could attach that. For this demo, I don't have one, so we'll submit this and we can now go and see what maintenance notification would look like. So here we've already created a maintenance request, which would automatically convert itself to a maintenance notification. Go ahead and save this. Give me a moment, let it load. Okay, so we see the order has been saved with 400 this, and we need to note these numbers because they are important for us when we are going forward. So we go to where we screen to see our maintenance. Okay, so now let's check what the maintenance notification looks like. So we see here, we have our maintenance notification here. Let me walk us through what it looks like. Okay, so we see the description we had. We see it's a reactive work. We see the technical objects that we are working on. We see the other information. So we see the code, it was overheating, the maintenance order here. We see the priority, just the same way we have highlighted it when we are trying to go, when we are trying to set it up. So we come back and we can now view our maintenance order, which was automatically created from the maintenance notification. All right, so we see what the maintenance notification, maintenance order looks like. We have edited and changed. So that's what the maintenance order and what the maintenance notification looks like for the reactive maintenance process. If there is any questions that can be asked, please feel free to ask. If you want any clarity on how this process is done, please feel free to. If there is none, I will be handing over to my colleague to continue from here. So that is what the asset maintenance has of us. There are still other maintenance processes. I mentioned the proactive, the overhead, the improvement that have their own specific processes to get into this level. So, but for the reactive, which we will be focused on, this is how the process is out. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Kene. I'll be sharing my screen. All right. S4HANA has another interesting features, which is sourcing and procurement. I'll just walk you through sourcing and procurement. This is one of the lifeline in every organization. If you're actually selling, then you must be buying. So this S4HANA is made for organizations. Okay, it helps you to have a seamless and a smooth sourcing and procurement process. As you can see on my screen, so before that, as for HANA business benefits, so we have like 5% to 10% savings on purchasing through enhanced inventory visibility. We have 60% automation of purchasing processes for required materials. We have 85% reduction in PO processing time. So what are the embedded features around sourcing and procurement in S/4HANA Cloud? So we have supplier management. This helps you to have supplier evaluation and classification and segmentation. So it helps you to evaluate your supplier's performance, how they are faring, how they respond to your requests, and what have you. You can classify your suppliers and you can segment them. So you can have real-time supply evaluation analysis. I'm going to show you that in a bit. We have source assignment and purchase contract management. You can manage contracts, source lists, and quotation. You can have automated source assignment. You can create, renew, and monitor procurement contracts in real time. Okay, you can have compliance with terms and conditions, enterprise contracts management for legal contracts. So we have self-service requisition, where these features enable each department to place requisition to the procurement department. We have an HR that's in need of a computer. We have any departments that are in need of a particular stuff, and they are not in touch with the suppliers directly. You can do self-service acquisition as employee to the procurement department to make that particular PO or purchase order. So it simplifies casual user purchasing, employee self-service acquisition. So it's where an employee can place requests for a particular goods to the purchase requisition purchase department, where the purchase department convert this particular requisition to purchase order, and that order will be met. I'll show you briefly. So we have purchase order management, one-stop purchase order processing, purchase order for materials and services, purchase order collaboration, managed service entry. Managed service entry is for professional services, where after a service has been made, you can raise purchase, you can raise service entry sheets against these services. We have purchasing rebates processing, where you can manage purchase rebates agreements, settle purchasing rebates. So we have invoice management, where you can supply invoice collaboration and processing, procurement analytics and spending visibility to tell you, to show you how your spending is going, the threshold, and what have you. So it has global spend and global contract consumption. We have central sourcing if you are running subsidiaries and what have you, contracts. And so let me show you how it looks like. So this is as a purchase manager, you're going to see this particular. Let me know if you are seeing my screen. All right, thank you. So these are the overview as a purchase manager, where you can have create supply invoice, you can have external products, purchasing, purchase acquisition processing, purchase order. So this is how the dashboard looks like. Let me give you an overview on how. So here we have procurement overview. We have purchase process, purchase acquisition, monitor purchase acquisition, manage purchase order. Let me show you our procurement overview. It's loading. So on the dashboard, on the landing page, you could see overdue purchase order items. It will just give you an overview. You have purchase order value scheduling, operational. We have purchase group activities at a go, right? All right, so this is the procurement overview. This is the analytics part of it. And is an interesting and is quite interactive. You can filter by supplier. You want a particular, you just want to see the analytics or the report of a particular supplier, or you want a particular material, or by a particular material group, or a particular purchase category, or a particular purchase group, or a purchase organization, or a plant. You can filter by any of these. Okay, so as you can see on my board, you can see monitor purchase contract. You can see off contract spend. And these are the off contracts I have. You could see purchase order requisition. You can go ahead to the which of them are open, okay, to show you open purchase requisition that are yet to be attended to. Okay, you could see the supplier performance, as I earlier said. You could see supply evaluation trend. It will tell you how a particular supplier is performing. Okay, it's loading. So this is a trend. Is quite interactive. All right, while it's loading, let me show you, okay? While it's loading, let me show you how the self-service requisition works. So we have self-service procurement. This is where a particular department is requesting for a particular resource from the purchase. So you can have here, you can create it, you can confirm when you receive it from the procurement department. You could check the invoice details and what have you. All right, so this is how the analytics looks like. This is just an evaluation, purchase evaluation. You could do your non-managed spend and purchasing spend, how much you spend. You could see some purchase requisition item types. Is it catalog? Is it material? Touch type and what have you. Let me stop sharing, and I would like to hand over to my colleague.
Okay, thank you very much, David, and thank you everyone for staying with us thus far. So I'm just going to share my final slide, and we will kind of take questions and round up the webinar session. Can anyone confirm you can see my screen, please?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to give us the overview. You know, S1 is a very broad topic, and if we have to really go into it in depth, we are going to spend a lot of time. So we'll have subsequent webinars, and then we'll just choose some topics to talk about. So you can please tune up for that, and we'll also let you know. Okay, so for me, I just quickly want to talk about the finance. Literally the backbone of every business, the finance department is very important, right? So I'll just give you a brief idea of what SAP has in store for the finance, and also some of the sales process, that's the sales process, the supply chain. Remember the topic of the webinar we have also for manufacturing company. So the good thing about S4HANA is that all your processes, they are just in one software. You don't have to buy a software, buy another one for this. Literally everything is there. And for some specialized businesses that it might not even be there, SAP has direct integration that we can easily manage. So for the finance, let me just quickly come here. For the finance here, some of the functionality SAP has in stock finance is the automation. We have enhanced payment matching and clearing. Now, what does that mean is when you're doing bank reconciliation, SAP has AI activated that it will work based on habits. Let's say for a particular transaction, you're always posting to a particular GL account. You can just tell the system to automatically be performing that transaction for you. So it really saves time. It's like payment matching and clearing, centralized bank integration. We have external credit agency integration. For real estate companies, yes, we have special real estate model. Now, all these processes, they report to the finance model also. We have the financial planning and analysis, the expense management, you want to know how your expenses are to be able to manage your expenses. Talking of distribution, cost and profit center, we have that. Then the advanced receivables management, SAP S/4HANA also supports that. So we have integration with Blackline, which is for consolidation, where if you are a group company, you want to consolidate your subsidiaries account together, you can use SAP S/4HANA. And we also allow integration with Blackline, which is a consolidation software, to just give you more information if needed. So cash management and advanced cash planning, the accounting and financial close for some of our existing customers, at the end of the period, you want to close your record. You want to know if it's monthly, if it's quarterly, if it's yearly. You want to close your record. So everything can be done in the software, the accounting and financial close, the financial operations, which is your day-to-day operations, your sales, your procurement, receivables, payables, supplier invoices. Everything is also within the finance. So cost management and profitability analysis. Now, my colleague mentioned analytics. Analytics is very good because at a glance, you want to be able to understand your data and make necessary information. So we support analytics. We have various types, I'm talking of the bar chart, the graphs, whatever form you use, we support that. And we can also have customized analysis reports, right? So yes, we have analysis. You want to see your gross profit margin, your net profit margin, your revenue, your cost, your profit in S/4HANA, and also enterprise risk and compliance. So now you can see that some of this the process might be like maybe you don't use them. So SAP S/4HANA is just not for one company. We support multiple companies, multiple industries. If you're talking about bank, there is the finance for bank, and we're talking of the risk. That's where the risk compliance also comes in for the bank, for financial or investment companies. Yeah, support that. Okay, so I'll just quickly go to the sales, the selling. For selling, if you want to open a business, that means you're ready to sell something. You're either selling a product or you're selling the services. Either way, sales is being performed. So we support the sales of products. We even support production of the product. So you can still on the system, produce to sell. So we support the production, make to stock, different production scenario, different selling scenario, the lead to cash, the order to cash. When we're talking of lead, we're talking from the prospect to when they become your customer and money exchanges, and lead to cash, the order to cash. Even if it's just invoice, if you're running credits, you give your customer credits and you want to be able to review the credit limit for your customers, everything is there. Even for subscription, right? If it's a service that is based on subscription, we support that. And services, and we also have rebates management. Now, rebate is when you're giving them like a threshold that if you sell beyond a particular amount for your customers, or if you buy a particular quantity of products from us, then we are going to refund you part of it, right? So we allow rebate management and we support that. Okay, so for supply chain, we can't talk about production or even retail without manufacturing without talking about supply chain. Your warehouses are very important. Your products, they are coming from the warehouses. When you are selling them also, you take them to a warehouse for sale. And when we are talking of delivery, you are picking them out of a warehouse. So we have direct integration with the supply chain too, the integrated business planning, the transport management. How do you receive goods? How do you deliver? Is it by air? Is it by road? Even different routes, right? Different transportation lanes. We support that in the system. The advance for that promises. You can even, if you make for a particular customer, say customer is coming and say, I want a number of items from you. Let's say 20 cartons of Indomie. I want you to make it directly for our company. So we support that. That is just for a particular, it's not part of what you do normally, but you are making for a specific customer. SAP S/4HANA supports that. So I mentioned inventory warehousing, the delivery and transportation, the order promising, the business process scheduling, and also the logistics cross topics. Now, all functional line of businesses, everything comes with its own analytics, right? So if you're a production personnel, you want to see the items, the products that you produce, you want to even review who are your customers, who are those buying more from you, who are those that you're not really making profits on, who are the customers making more returns back to your company. You want to review all those analytics, some things that you would just not, you will need out of the box, right? The system allows you and supports you to do that. Okay, so that's all I have on my end. Please, do we have any question? Any question, please? You can also send us a message if you have, at the end of the training, if you have any question or you want more information on what we've shown, you can just send us a message at Outreach Consulting, or you can Outreach Consulting Limited on LinkedIn, on Instagram. Just send us a message. We are active online. But do we have any question here, please? Before we round up today's webinar. Let me stop sharing. Any question? Okay, so if we have no question, I'm just going to stay on the line. And for now, the meeting is ended. If you have any question, please let me know. I'll stay on the line for some minutes and then before I'll close the session. Thank you very much for joining me. And please stay tuned for next webinar. We are going to really go all out for that and keep you updated. Thank you very much.